Chelsea losing to Arsenal Football Club in that Premier League encounter today was a very, very sad one. Let me just use that word. It was a very sad one because in that game, Chelsea were not outplayed. But there is still something that is lacking in that Chelsea team. And I think it's mentality issue. That Chelsea team have not been playing bad. It's for a fact. Forget the all emotional cry from most of all the influencers and some other content creators. Chelsea has not been playing bad. Even in this game against Arsenal, they've not been playing bad. But I think what the problem is number one, discipline, and number two is mentality issue. This player, I think they didn't learn from a lot of experienced players. So they don't know how to handle pressure. They don't know how to not self-capitulate when things are going tough. That's the problem this team is having. Experience matters in football, and that is what Chelsea is lacking at the moment. Most of all the players, if you look at them, they are virtually like the same age range. They are virtually like the same age range. So there is no one they are looking up to, or they didn't get proper training from some experienced player before they even leave or before they start becoming a first team player in Chelsea. So most of them don't know the culture of Chelsea. They didn't meet most of all those players that has that Chelsea culture in them. Even Reece James, that is our captain, is like age to them, so it's very difficult for him sometimes to even control them. And with the kind of person that Reece James is a soft person, is a very little talking person, like he doesn't talk much. So I am not sure he will be able to control most of all these things that are happening on the pitch of play. Because in that game, Chelsea set up very well. Though in the first half it was a bit low, but in the second half, Chelsea came and they would have actually even gotten a draw at least in that game. But when it mattered most, they self-sabotaged the game. And this has been happening in about 2 or 3 games now. It happened immediately when Pedro Neto rather got himself red carded. We are chasing a goal, then you talk yourself into a yellow card. The captain was right there talking to the referee, but you were there at the back screaming your lungs out at the referee. To what purpose? That's why I said that experience counts, because I cannot imagine maybe a Thiago Silva or maybe a John Terry talking to the coach and Pedro Neto will be screaming his lung out at the referee. I'm not sure John Terry will accept that. He's going to shut him down. But James was just looking at him. And by the time he got that yellow card, it was difficult for him marking Martinelli the second time, and he marked him, got himself red carded. And right now in the Premier League, Chelsea has conceded 7 red cards this time alone. We are the team with the highest red card. We are the team with the highest yellow card. And most of all these yellow cards, you will realize that it was not even a foul or a foul related yellow card. It was just like doing some stupid thing, talking themselves into the referee's book, or sometimes kicking the ball away, which was same thing that Enzo Fernandez did in the same game today. The referee has blown a foul against you or maybe against your opponent, then you pick the ball from the floor and hit it on the ground. Then you got yourself yellow carded. Imagine if he had another wrong tackle now, he got himself into red card again. It will have been 2 red cards in a game. So those are the little problems that this Chelsea team is having right now. And I think the only thing that can make this thing change is still that Chelsea will still need to spend. Because this coach will need to buy the players that he actually can control. This coach will need to buy players that suits him. And we need to reinforce that defense. I don't know what our defenders are doing. They are paid to guide their territory, to guide their box. But most of the time, these guys, they get bullied from their territory. This is your territory. You don't accept bullying there. Arsenal player virtually bullied our defenders into those 2 goals, those 2 set-piece goals. They bullied them even while we were in their own 18. They were holding down our players Yet there was no foul, and they did it well. You say that they did that to your players in their own box, then they came to your box, you were looking at them, you should have held on to them too, not allowing them to jump. You should have held on to them at least before the before the ball was kicked. Hold on to them. You should have held on to them too. You don't let them bully you into succumb. Like you guys succumb to their bullying easily. And it's a albatross this time around. It's a albatross. We cannot even like, come on. Those guys, they play in the corner kick, and you see our players all over the place. Nobody is even marking anybody. Nobody is even marking anybody. Even Reece James, was it the first goal or the second goal? I think it was the second goal. Reece James was supposed to jump with the player that nodded the ball. He decided to push it. Guy, jump, for crying out loud. Jump. But yet, they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. Well, it's well. Congratulations to Arsenal. I've said it before now that it's only Arsenal that can self-sabotage themselves from winning the league this season. They are the only one. I said it before now. If you watch some of my video, I've said it severally. Forget the banters that we have sometimes that I made jest of them if they drop points. I've said it that they are the only one that can self-sabotage themselves from winning that league this season. Forget about Manchester City. Manchester City will be chasing them, except Arsenal drop points at this crucial moment. That's when Manchester City can catch up with them. They are still 5 points ahead right now. Forget the game at hand. That game at hand, I don't always count them. I don't always count them because it is not a guaranteed point yet. Even in the game against Leeds United yesterday, Manchester City struggled in that game. They were able to manage just 1-0 win in that game. Though it is 3 points, fine. But in some other games, they might not be lucky to go with all the 3 points. So that's why I said that it's Arsenal's league to lose. It's their league to lose. They dropped their guard against Brentford and against Wolverhampton Wanderers when they dropped those 4 points. Yes, they dropped their guard, but they realized that, this might catch up with us. And since that time, they've been on fire again. It's a very difficult thing for me to say because as a rival fan, I never wanted them to win the league. But let's be factual here. This team has been fantastic this season. They play dirty football. That was what they played for Chelsea today. They play dirty football, but it's all in their favor and they are capitalizing on it. So it's left for other teams for them to find a way to play around against it or go into the same dirty football with them whenever you are playing against them. That's just my own honest thoughts. And even in the post-match presser today, that was the two things that Liam Roseno talked about. He talked about the discipline, which is collecting unnecessary cards. And he also talked about not being able to defend our set piece, not being able to defend our box. I'm very sure that in his top list right now, players that can defend the box will be there. Like, he can't even wait for the season to end before he started crying out loud for that. Because this set of players that we have in Chelsea, they fail to jump, they fail to mark their 18. You will see most of our players, they will cross ball into the 18. They are not even jumping. Like, they are not contesting to jump with those players. I'm very sure that this is going to be one of his top priority in his list of players that need to be signed at the end of the season. And I hope we'll be able to get into that Champions League spot. Because right now, the way this team are playing, I'm not sure they are even serious about it. Next, we are going to be playing Aston Villa that is fighting for his own life too, trying to stay in that Champions League position. Aston Villa has been losing games before now. We will come back again in the midweek and see what they are going to play against Chelsea. If Chelsea is not careful again, they will bully Chelsea into succumb, or Chelsea will themselves self-implode in that game. You will have said that Chelsea will play very well, but at the end of the day, they might self-implode and lose the game at the end of the day. Please drop your thoughts in the comment section, and please, I want to ask for something. If you need football jersey, all this jersey you are seeing on your screen, it is rightly available in my hand. Please, and if you want any size of football jersey, you can slide into my DM. You can click on the link in my bio to talk to me on WhatsApp. I will see you guys on the next one.